Hey everybody, it's Mary Jo. The video you're about to watch, I'm sorry that it came out so late. I wanted to get it to you earlier, but life happens and all the footage, it was so much. It was literally like almost 2 hours and 45 minutes. I got it down as much as I could. I hope you enjoy it, and I apologize now for it's just a little out of control. But, I'm not perfect. And again, I'm sorry that it's late. I hope you all watch it all the way to the end. And thank you so much for everything you do. So let's get to the video. Hey friends, how y'all doing? Welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I am Mary Jo from Mary Jo's Creations. And the video I put out actually today is Tuesday. Don't ask me what day because I have no freaking idea. I didn't film much of the I didn't film any of the front panel, to be honest with you, I don't think. But I am finished with both panels, and they're almost put together. So this is what it's looking like so far. I honestly think that maybe I should have brought this down a little more, and I probably could have made it a little bit longer, but I think this is good for the first time, and I honestly think that this one might actually fit. I don't think it's going to be oversized, which is good, but, I do like it a little oversized. But I think it's going to be good once I finish it, to see, and then that way I can judge, what I need to do to make it just a little smidge bigger. And, I did use this pink, so I'm okay if it's not something that I plan on wearing all the time. So the next sweater that I make, I'm going to make it in a color. I'm kind of leaning towards like a brown because I love browns, and I also think like a nice dusty blue would look nice because I do look nice in blue as well. But anyway, sorry I didn't film a lot. I just, like I said in the other video, I wasn't feeling well. I've been having a lot of issues with this cold weather. And now I'm just sewing this up here. And I wanted to film it, but again, I'm sorry. When I make the next one, I'll show more of the process. But in this one, I also did a little bit different than what I was thinking. I want to do it two different ways, right? Normally, what I always do is I'll do a single crochet border around this before I actually sew it together. And I ended up crocheting the top together, which I just don't feel like taking it apart. But I don't like the way it looked. Not really. So I ended up sewing the sides. And again, normally what I do is I do a round of single crochet, but that also does make it look a little bit different. So I wanted to do one this way, and then the next one I'll do it that way and see which way I like it better. But now we can get an idea of what it looks like, right? Because it's put together. There's no sleeves on it. There's no edging. See, I think that this is, once I put the single crochet border around it, it'll look okay, but this is what it's looking like so far. And now what I have to do is just put the sleeves on and then do a border around the bottom. I'm probably just going to do, and weave all these, actually that's what I'm going to do right now, is weave in the ends. But I honestly think that we can finish this sweater up today. I shouldn't have turned it inside out yet. I think we should, outside, inside, out, outside, in, I think that I will be able to finish this today, which would be awesome because there's a few things that I want to start working on, and, you know, I just wanted to get this finished because Valentine's Day is on, what is that, Saturday? And I wanted to have it done. But yeah, we will be working on this today and hopefully getting it finished today. And then this week we're just going to keep working on anything that's pink. There are a few more things that I want to do. Yeah, I'm really not liking that. I mean, it's going to be on the inside. No one's going to see it, but I don't know. I think I like it the way I do it better when it's like the single crochet around the whole thing. But you never know until you do it, right? So you never know how something is going to come out or look until you do it. So I definitely want to sew in all these ends before I start working on the sleeves and doing the edging and all of that. Now, I believe that the next time I make this, I mean, I want to see how it looks when it's on, right? But I think I want to make it just a little bit longer. And I definitely want to start the neckline down a little bit, just a little bit more. Because I realize that it's good where it is now. And if I want to do more than just a single crochet border, it's going to be up too high. So we have to adjust it, right? Now, in all fairness, this is a learning process because I'm not working off of a pattern. This is my own design. And so it's going to be a little trial and error before we get there. So we might just have a bunch of like funky looking sweaters until, you know, we get to where we want to be. And that's okay. I don't mind that. But there are also a few things that I want to talk about in this video. And wow, again, words just fall out. There are a few things that I want to talk about and go over. And I also want to see, like, I did make a list of, and I have the bingo card, the Pico card, that I want to also go over and see, you know, what it is that I have maybe finished already. I'm not sure. So we're going to figure all of that out. And then, you know, we're going to work on it together. But there are a few things that I think I did do all of, like I said I wanted to do 4 what do you call that, 4 Valentine's Day projects, and I think I did get all those 4 done. I do have 4, I believe. I have the cardigan, which looks a lot better, and I'm also going to try that on for you so you can see it, because I did make it a little bit smaller. Lord, I did relax it a little bit, and so it doesn't look as stiff as it did when I tried it on the first time. So we are going to, you know what, I want to turn this inside out so that I'm weaving in the ends on the inside. And I believe I have 1, 2, 3, 4 ends to weave in now. That's it. So that won't take very long. Or maybe not. So I'm going to weave one of these ends in, and then I think I'm going to tie my yarn onto this and do the single crochet border around. So we're just going to weave in this smaller end, which is not so small. But I do want to pull out all the things that I have done for Valentine's Day. I think I made 2 ear warmers, and I made the cardigan, and that's what I was saying. It's relaxed a lot more since I sprayed it with the Febreze. I don't know if that's a good thing to do. I don't know. I'm still have to go through, what do you call that? I'm trying to research and figure out, you know, what methods there are of blocking. If anyone has an idea, like, again, I can't, like, put it in the wash like I want to do because I don't have a washing machine here. And I would have to go to the laundromat, and it's just not possible at the moment. So, you know, and drenching it the way that most people do, blocking it that way, is really not an option for me. Because, number one, for me, the pieces are way too heavy. And I can't be, you know, it hurts my back and everything. It's just not, you know, the best way for me. And I don't want to steam because I don't want to make a mistake where I melt my project. So I have to figure out a better way of doing it where it's, you know, easier for me, and we're going to figure that out. But when I sprayed it with the Febreze, it did actually make it a little bit softer. And then I did that with my birthday sweater too, just to see, and it did soften up a little bit. It did loosen up a little bit, so that might be my option. I'm not sure, but I'm going to leave that, and I think I might leave that one. This one I'll sew in, and this one I'll sew in. So, and this one I'll leave out. Okay, so like what I like to do is when I have long ends, instead of tying the yarn on to the panel and then doing it, I like to leave these ends because then I'll tie the yarn on to here and work it straight from here. To me, it'll just feel more secure. Whether it is or it isn't, I don't know, but that's just how my brain works. So I don't weave in all the ends, but I do want to weave in most of the ends because I don't want to deal with them when I'm crocheting the sleeves. And then not only that, once I'm done with the sleeves, it's, you know, only a few ends to weave in, and it's no big deal, right? So if I do them as I go, it's just a lot easier for my brain, for my brain. And so that's just how we're going to do them. But I didn't like this joining method too much. And that's another reason why I always do, I do make the same thing more than once. Because number one, you know, I'm not working off of a pattern, and I'm working out the kinks as I go, right? So I do like to, and I don't mind having the same style, like if I really like the style, right? But then again, I'm also doing this because I would like to, at some point, put them up on my website if anyone would like to buy one. And then I will also be like, I'll use that one. All right. And then I make a few because I have to work out. I might not like the way I do it one way. Like right now, I'm not very fond of the way I connected it. Does it look bad? No. I think it'll look much better once I relax it too. Once I put it on, once I put the sleeves on, it's going to fall a little bit more because of the weight of the sleeves, which also relaxes it a little bit, right? So we're going to see once it's all done, but I love this process because that's a longer piece. That'll go there. I'll have a finished product. Unless it looks really bad, I don't take it apart. And it'll look a little bit different than the new ones that I make, but at least, you know, I know what to change to make it look a little bit better. And then when I make it again, and like I said, I think I'm going to make this sweater again in like a caramel color. And this, I'm making it a little bit lighter because this is in Big Twist. I was going to use loops and threads, but I didn't want it that thick. So, you know, and to me, I always feel like loops and threads is a little bit lighter than, loops and threads is heavier than Big Twist. Big Twist is a little bit lighter. It's a little bit thinner. It's not as thick. And so, you know, if I want something that's warm but a little bit on the lighter side, I like to use Big Twist. Because it's still a 4-weight, but it's not as thick as the loops and threads, right? So I think I'm going to make the brown one also in loops and threads, so that way when it does start to warm up a little bit, it won't be as heavy. Now, the reason why I did this one in Big Twist, I'm losing it, y'all. I'm losing it. This one in Big Twist is because I kind of want to wear this one, and, you know, if it's not too cold, I can wear my Valentine's Day cardigan on top of it. And, you know, it'll be warm. But I'm going to try this on, show it to you, and then I'll be right back. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. And I think it's perfect. I don't think that I need to make it any wider. I might do one where it's a little bit thinner. But for oversized, this I think is the perfect. I think I actually did it the right way. Now, you see the seam? I don't like that. See, because it is a little bit baggy because, you know, everything, since I'm so top heavy, it does come out. And so it looks a little bit baggy. And I would like to make it a little bit, like, more fitted. But that's going to be the next one. This one I did want baggy. And I think that the sleeves, this comes down just enough. Again, I do think that I should have started maybe down here doing the opening, but that's okay. I'll just do a round of single crochet in, or maybe two, which isn't what I wanted to do, but that's all right, because if I do put a collar on it, it'll be too high and I don't want it. So the next time I try it, I might put it down here and start doing the opening this way, so that way I can put a collar on it and it'll still probably be like up to here. But I think the length is pretty good. I don't really care for this seam. That's why I usually like to do it all in the round, because I rather have the seam going up the back than I do on the sides. But, you know, like sweatshirts, that's how they are, right? They're seamed on the side. And this is supposed to be more of like a sweatshirt construction than a sweater construction. So I'm okay with that. I think it's going to look a little bit different though once I yeah, see, it is baggy. So this would probably be like a large size, because again, I'm normally a medium. The only reason I might get a large is because of this part here, but down here I'm just so shaped so oddly. But I'm gonna try, and the next one, do the seaming here, like do the single crochet instead of just going straight into the stitches, and see how that looks. But I'm kind of really liking this. So I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to start working on the sleeves. Or actually, I might do the single crochet around the border here, and do the single crochet on the bottom. I don't think I'm going to add any. I mean, like, yeah, maybe I might add length, because when I lift my arms, it does go up high. So I might add like 2 rounds of, see what I wanted to do up here, and I might try, but what I wanted to do was 2 rounds of half doubles and 1 round of single, which is what I wanted to do on the bottom, because I like my neckline to match the bottom of my sweater and the cuffs of my sweater. So we're going to see, but I do know now that when I remake this, I'm going to start down here. So I'll mark that on what row I'm going to start. And this one was done in mainly double crochets with some half double crochets mixed in. So my next one, I might just try, I might do it the exact same way, or I might just do it in double crochets and see how that looks. It will be a little bit longer if I do it in just solid double crochets, and do the same amount of rows, because it won't, you know, the half doubles make it a little bit shorter. But again, we also don't know exactly how this is going to sit until we add the sleeves and add the trim and add the, you know, so we're going to get to that today. And this sweater will be done today. One way or another, this sweater will be done today, and the video will come out tomorrow morning or tomorrow. But I'm going to take this off. I'm going to eat something, because I haven't eaten at all yet today. And it's what? 11:44. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and then when I come back, we're going to work on doing the collar first. We are going to clean this up, do maybe, like I said, at least 1 round of half double, but I would like to do 2 rounds of half double and 1 round of single to finish it off. And then we are going to do the bottom, right? Let me take this off. We are going to do the bottom and do, again, 2 rounds of half doubles and 1 round of single, just because I want to connect this so that, you know, this isn't out. So this is where I seamed it. And so we want not to have that like that. So I'm going to do a border around it. And again, it is oversized. It's just the right amount of oversize. And Then once we have that done, we will be working on the sleeves. So I want to get that done, and we will see how much we can get done in this video. Who knows? But I'm going to take a break, and I will see y'all back in just a second. Okay, guys. We are going to work on the neckline first. In all fairness, I have not eaten yet. I took a little coffee break. But I kind of really want to finish this. So, I'm going to do this neckline first before I take a real break. I'm going to tie on this yarn. Now, so far for this sweater, we've used 2 full skeins. Technically, we have 3 skeins used because 2 of them were half skeins, right? The first 2 were half skeins left over from the cardigan, the Valentine's Day cardigan, so I used those up, and the hats. I think 1 was left over from the cardigan, and 1 was left over from the hat and ear warmers that I made. And so I used those 2, and they were literally just under 6 ounces. I believe these are, 6 ounces each, and this was just a little bit under 6 ounces. And we did go through another one, which is also medium rose. So for the front panel, we went through an entire skein, and I'm sorry I didn't film any of that, but I will do better when I do the next one. Now, as far as this skein, which is technically my 4th skein, but my 2nd full skein, there's that much left. So this, I'm hoping, will be enough to finish off the sweater. If it is, that would be amazing. I'm trying to figure out where to start. All right. It would be amazing if I could finish it with just that 1 skein. Do the trim in both sleeves. So that's going to be 1 right here. And I'm going to mark my first stitch. It just makes it easier. And I'm going this way first on the back because this does have single crochets all the way down the back of the neck. Don't want to cut the yarn that's attached. Just want to snip the little ends. All right, there we go. All right, so actually, I just realized I want to do it half double. See, I don't know. I don't know if I should do single first and then do half double, because there's no stitch on this. All right. Let's do a double crochet. I mean, a half double crochet. And we're going to do half double crochets all the way around. And once I get to there, we're going to stop and see how it looks, and whether or not I should just frog it back and do a single crochet. Because, again, the front, sorry, the front of where I decreased, it's, you know, there's no single crochets around it, so the edging is a little off. and it looks, you know, unfinished, I don't know if I should do a single crochet first, or if I should just go right into the half doubles. And the only reason why I'm hesitating is because, like, you know, the back has the single crochets, right? But the front does not. So I don't know how it's going to look. But we're going to find out soon enough. Yeah, so hopefully this will be enough to do the rest of the entire sweater. Okay, I actually like the way that looks. Check it out. That looks cute, right? Okay, so I'll be back in just a sec for you. Alright, so I decided to put just a single crochet around just one, one round of half double, and I think I'm just going to finish it off with a single crochet all the way around. Let me try this on and see how it looks. Alright, I do like the way that it's looking. I do like it with just the double crochet, and I mean the half double crochet and then the single crochet. I like the way that looks. And yeah, I think I should have started it a little bit lower, but that's fine for now, especially since it's winter time too. That's fine. I'm not going any higher, so I'm going to finish it off. Actually, we could just cut it off right now. And that is done. Now on the bottom, I think I might just do the same thing. I don't know. I'm going to take a break and this time actually get something to eat. And then I'm going to do a little border around the bottom. And then once that is done, we can start working on the sleeves, and hopefully, fingers crossed, hopefully, we will have the sweater done by tonight. I'm hoping before 6. It still is early. It's like 1 o'clock. So, we will figure that out. I'll be back in just a sec for you. But I am on the the first sleeve. Hello. And, I'm doing them the same way, more or less, that I was doing the, body. So I'll be doing, 8 rows of double crochets and then 2 rows of half doubles, and on the 2 rows is where I'll decrease. But I'll just decrease on one of them. Most likely what I'll do is decrease on the first one. I don't want to do an intense decrease, right? Normally I decrease gradually. I don't know if decreasing on both rows is going to be too drastic. Around, I did film, I believe, but I think I deleted it because I did, the first time I went around the armhole, I had way too many stitches. It was like something like 70 something stitches, 72 stitches. And I tried it on and it was way too wide. So I brought it down to 52 stitches around the armhole. And that closed it up a lot, right? So I was doing one in every single space, and what I did was, like, I think the two spaces, and then I skipped one. I forget how I did it, but I put 52 single crochets around the armhole. And when I do this one, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to count 52 stitches around the armhole in single crochet. And then I started doing the double crochet right away, and I'm on the last row of double crochets. And now when I start the half doubles, I'm going to do the decrease. Now this is like the first arm is where, like, I have to count it out, right? And I have to see exactly when I'm going to stop it and this and that. So then the second arm, the second sleeve is going to be quicker. Just kind of like with the panels, like the back panel, it was figuring out, like, where to stop, right? And how long I wanted it and this and that. So it made the front panel a little bit easier because I knew where to stop and where to start splitting off. And then the only hard part about that was figuring out, which was very easy because it went exactly like I thought it was going to go. It was one decrease in every row. So it made a slight slope. Every row was one decrease. And so, you know, when I went to do the second side, it was fast. Now the sleeve is going to be the same way. Right now, it took me a little bit longer because, again, I did the first round. It was way too much. So I brought it down, and, you know, 52 is good. So now I'm on, I think the last time I tried it was when it, like, the first two rows, to see how it looked, and it looked really good. Right now, I'm going to do the decreases. I'm going to start the decreasing now. And what I'm going to do is every fifth stitch, I'm going to decrease. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is do one round of half double crochets first, and then on the last one, do the decreases. I think that's the best way for me to do it. Because it's a shorter stitch, so the decreases are going to just look a little bit better on top of a shorter stitch. At least in my opinion. So I'm going to go all the way around in a half double crochet. That one's done. Now we're doing that one. And I don't know, should I? You know what? Let me start the decrease now, right? So, and see how it looks. I mean, it doesn't really matter, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the fifth one, I'm going to decrease. Five. Do we think that that's going to shrink too much? Too fast? Let's see. Let's see how that looks, right? We're going to, you know what? Before I do that, okay, I know the lighting is kind of bad, but here's where the sweater comes up to. And it still is a little wide, so I am going to, hold on. Alright, it's up to my elbow, so I am going to do another decrease right now. And then we'll see how it looks. Because it is a little too wide still. 20. Now, with all these decreases, the next few rows are going to be fast because not that many stitches. So that's why I always say that, like, you know, for me, the sleeves don't really take long, especially when I do, like, the decreases like this. And that's normally how I like to do them. I normally don't like to do that many decreases close together, but it always depends on the project and how I want the sleeves to look. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Mm. 35. And we're going to close it off at 36. So what I did was I did do another decrease at the end because I ended it off at 36. So 36. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a double crochet in this first stitch, and then I'm going to take a look at how it looks. And see if the decrease looks bad on its own, you know? So we're gonna put that there. And that there, just so my stitch doesn't come out. Okay, now these are... No, I think that's gonna look fine. Now we're just gonna do... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more double crochets, and then we'll probably end on the 2. That might be enough, I'm not sure, but I know at least it needs 8 more, right? So let's get that done and then try it on and see how that looks. Now, I did take a bit of a break. And at this moment, it is what? 6:25, I think. I'm half blind, y'all. So, right now, I want to count these stitches and make sure that it comes out to 36 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we are just going to go down. Now, 36 stitches should not take me very long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go work on this. And I'll come back when the sleeve is done. Because I don't know how long that's going to take me. And I, don't know how to do this speed up. So I'm going to go work on this sleeve. And I know there was something else I wanted to share, but I can't remember what it is right now. And I need to concentrate on this sleeve. So I'm going to work on this sleeve. And when I get down to the half double crochets, then that's when I'll look to see, because that's where I would, if I have to make it any longer, that's where I would do the next set of decreases. But we're going to see how this looks, and at that point I am going to try it on. So I'm going to go work on this. And I'll come back when I'm almost done. And I have to count. So I'll be back. Okay, guys. Now, I did work the sleeve up a couple of rows, and I did not like the way it was looking. It was too much of a decrease, so I ripped it all back and just left it at one increase of 44, and now I'm going up the sleeve. I did one whole row, so I had 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 rows done of that when I noticed it was too, and you can't really tell until you work it up, right? Because then it starts getting tighter and tighter. So I didn't like the way it looked. I ripped it all back. I did a regular row of half double crochets without any increases, which I like, because there won't be any like extra spaces when I do the half doubles, right? So I did one row, and it's on an even row of half doubles. So the doubles up here, they look a little more cleaner. So I'm going to do the rest of this all the way up, but I do need to take a break because it's been well over, and it's been almost 2 hours, and it's actually the most I've sat at one time and crocheted for a very long time. But now I know why I'm in so much pain and why my foot is like completely numb. So I need to take a break. It's, I think, almost 9 o'clock. I need to take a break. And I'm going to finish this sleeve tonight, but honestly, I thought I was going to have both sleeves done, and I'm not. At least I don't think so. So I might have to finish the other sleeve tomorrow, but I am going to try and get this one finished before I go to sleep. And again, now it won't take long because, you know, I'm just doing it straight through. I think that maybe one more like section like I was talking about, I think that might be enough. But what I know is that the second sleeve is going to run smooth. This one, the first one, is always the one that takes the longest because I have to figure it out. So the second one will be a lot faster, but again, I don't know if we're going to get to that tonight because I did like at least 45 minutes of work or half an hour of work that I ripped back all the way. So I ripped it all out. So I'm tired. I'm going to go take a break, and for you it'll just be a second. I should eat something too. It's been a long day. Be right back, guys. Hey, guys. Did take a little bit of a break and made something to eat and all of that, so it's kind of late now, but sorry. When I'm not filming, I take the pillow out just so I can relax a little bit more, but it's too far back. Anyway, the sleeve, I'm halfway before I get to the next decrease, right? So I want to finish that before the end of the night. Like I said, I really do hope that I can get at least this one sleeve done before I go to sleep. Now, it took me about 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, I think, to do this. So it shouldn't take me very long to do the last 4 rows that I need. And again, I don't know if it's going to be long enough, with when I get to the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I should be starting the 5th row, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So it's not taking me very long. And hopefully, like I said, I don't know if it's going to be long enough with these next 4 rows and the decrease. Once I get to the decrease and I'm going to try it on and see how long the sleeve is, right? If it's long enough, then I'm just going to do round of single crochet and that's it. But if it's not, then I'm going to continue to make as many rows as I need, because I do like a long sleeve. And that's just personal preference, because I do have long arms. So, I have very long arms. I have very big hands. And, I like my sleeves to go, past my wrist. Ever since I was a kid. And because my arms are so long, everything was always a little bit too short. So, as I got older, I was able to find certain things that were like really long. But now, I just like to make it my way, right? Because I do like them long, but I also like them to be fitted so, like, they don't ride down and, I'm just weird. you know? So this, I'm going to show you the skein the way it looks right now. I don't know if I'm going to have enough to finish the bottom and the entire other sleeve, but we're going to see. I mean, I would, if I had to guess, I'd say it's about halfway gone. And I'm not sure, but I have to make at least, what? 1, 2, 3, 4. If I finish it this way, this time, on this last one, it'll be maybe, 6 more rounds. Now, again, I don't know. And the only reason this time I would just do, like, the half double crochets is just one round of half double crochet is because of the way I did the collar and the bottom. But I don't know if I'm going to like the way it looks, right? So, and it might not be long enough. So what I might do is, depending on how long it is, that's how I'll figure out what I'm going to do and how many rounds of half double crochets I might do and how many rounds of, if I need to add any more rounds of double crochet. And it won't be 8 because then I know the sleeve will be way too long. But again, I'm not going to know until I get there and until I what's that called? I don't know. Until I see how long it is, right? And again, one second. I'm almost at the end. This is the only thing I hate about working the sleeves directly onto the sweater, because it does get rather heavy, and having to move everything around is, you know, a little bit not harder, but just a pain in the ass to have to like move the entire sweater. But I much rather prefer that because I just like the way it looks. I really do. Much better than doing a panel, you know? I normally like to work it, which is how I was doing it, inside out. But I tried it on and I didn't flip it, so I'm just going to leave it for right now. I think it's... I don't know anymore, y'all. I am so tired. I am on the 8th one, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm on the 5th one, right? And so it took me 5 rows that I made while I was chatting with you. I did that in 15 minutes, which I don't think is bad. And as soon as I'm done with this one, I am going to do the 1 round of half double crochet with a decrease, which should bring it to 36 because I'm going to do the decrease like I did on top. So it'll bring it down to 36. And normally I do like to decrease it more than that because I have tiny wrists, which is so weird. It's really so weird. I have long, thin hands, tiny wrists, long arms, but everywhere else I'm big. And I have really big hands, but my wrists are so tiny. Like, literally, I can fit my, not that you needed to know that, but I'm tired, so I'm a little delirious at the moment. And we are going to finish this. Not bad, not bad. And do 1 round of the decrease. And then try on the sweater and see how it looks. Now, I know it looks a little bit stiff. And we're going to fix that. Most likely by spraying it with the Febreze like I did. And that should relax the fibers a little bit. And see how that looks. But I'm only doing that once the entire sweater is done. I'm not doing that, beforehand. I want it all to be finished before I spray it. And then see if it helps or makes a difference. Or maybe before I do that, I will finally remember to look up how to block without soaking or steaming. And putting it on a blocking board, because I'm not doing all of that. I really am not doing all of that. And I would throw it in the washer, but I don't have a washing machine. So we are going to figure something out. And we'll take care of that before I really finish with this sweater. But we are going to see what it's going to look like. Now, I'm on my last, no, I finished my last round, right? So I'm on my decrease row, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes, I'm on my decrease row. So let's do a quick decrease, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. $31, $32, $33, $34, $35, and $36. Now, I'm sorry, I had to keep count because I wanted to make sure that, on that decrease, you have to make sure that, or at least I have to make sure that I don't make mistakes, because 36 is what I did. Now let's see what it looks like. Alright, so this is how it's looking right now. And I really do like the way it's looking. And the sleeve is almost there. But I do think that I do need one more section of that doubles. And then the half doubles. So let me see. That section right there, if I put it here, see, then it'll be too long. So maybe what I'll do is I'm just going to keep going and for a few and seeing how that feels, or where it falls actually. And then once I do that, I'll just do little by little. Like, I'll do one more round right now, or not right now, but I'll do one more round of the half double crochet. And then do, let's say, 4 rounds of the double. And I'll see where that lands and then we'll take it from there. But I've been crocheting for about an hour, and I need to take a break. And I will give you any updates before I go to sleep about the progress. Hopefully I could finish the sleeve before I go to sleep, but we'll see how it goes. But I'll be back in just a sec for you. Alright, so I did all the other rows, and I'm doing the single crochet around the sleeve now. And like I said, I did 6 rows of double crochet, and then 2 fully decreasing rows of the half double, and now I'm just doing 1 row of the single, and then I'm going to try it on and see how it looks. And if it looks good, now when I do the single all the way around, I do try to make my stitches a little bit tighter just to like cinch it in a little bit more. And I went from 37 stitches to 30 stitches to 25 stitches. And now I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way around, and then we're going to take a look at the sleeve and see how that looks. And if it looks that way, if it looks good, then I will do it all the way around. What am I talking about? If the sleeve looks good, then I will do the sleeve on the other side. And it'll be a lot faster because I'll just follow it the same way that I made it. I already know exactly how many stitches to put in the armhole. And, you know, the second sleeve shouldn't take me very long. So I should definitely have the sweater finished by this afternoon. I mean, honestly, it's 12:16. I do have a roast in the oven. I didn't count. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I was right, 25. Okay. Just wanted to make sure, you know, like, it's always better safe than being sorry, you know. I do like to count and just to see, make sure I have the right amount. Now, I'm going to pull this out, and I'm going to try this on. Let me put a hook on it just in case it does get pulled. I don't lose the stitch. If I can find one of those, you know, I don't really use these all that often, but I do like having them because sometimes you need something that's not weighted for whatever reason. Now I'm going to turn this sweater inside out. Outside in. No. Right side. I don't know. I always get confused. I know I must sound like a crazy person half the time, but that's all right. I'm going to put this the right way, and I'm going to try it on and see how it looks, and I will show you. So give me just a sec. Okay. So this is what the sleeve looks like, right? And I like that. And if you see, there's no harsh, like, line like there was before. I normally do like the cuffs to be a little bit higher, but since this is just so thin, I think that a cuff like this is just fine. Actually, I'm going to clip the yarn right now. There we go. Sorry, my yarn needle fell on the floor. Now, you see how much better it falls when the sleeve is on? And everything falls a lot better. I do kind of wish that this was down a little bit more. It's just more my style. But I think that when I try to block it a little bit, once the sleeve is done, it'll fit a lot nicer. And again, you can't, in my personal opinion, you can't really see how anything really falls and fits until it's completely done, right? And I really like the way this sleeve is look. I have a mirror right there, so I'm like looking at it. But I do think that the sleeve came out fine. Again, the shoulder is off a bit, and I love that. I love the way that looks. Now, it's still like kind of doing that a little bit like it was before, but not much. I don't think anyone would notice it but me. I don't know. I'm weird. Who knows? I think it might be because of the half double crochets in the sleeve, and that like brings it in a little bit more, but it's not really noticeable. It's just a me thing. But I really do like the way that it looks. And when it falls, I think it does match the sleeve itself. I mean, the body itself. And again, I normally do like the cuff to be a little bit thicker, if you know. But honestly, because of the way it's done here, it matches. And down here, I'm probably going to do the same thing. Just one round of half double crochets and one round of single to match this. This does have 2 rounds of half double crochets, but it's alright. I do really like the way it's looking, though. Again, I think that the only changes, besides the way I seam it together, I think the only, like, real changes that I would make would be to drop this down just a little bit lower, so that way I can do the edging here a little bit different, where it's a little bit thicker. Because if I make it the way I want it to, it'll be too close, and I don't like that. I don't feel comfortable with that. Even right here, it still feels a little too closed in for me. And I honestly don't know what that's about, but I can deal with this. Like I said, when I make my next one, which will probably be in like either the sage green, I don't know what color I have more of, I have to look, or maybe like a nice brown, then I will make the adjustments. I might make it just a little bit longer. Maybe. Just a little bit longer. I don't know if I would make maybe the panel just a little bit, like if I want it more fitted, maybe the panel just a little bit shorter, and bring the split for the neckline a little bit down more. But this is good for like this. I would categorize this as most likely like oversized large. I mean, pink is really not my color. I think it washes me out, but it is for Valentine's Day. So I'm going to go finish doing the bottom on this sweater and doing the other sleeve now that I have all the right row counts and stitch counts. And then I'll be back to show you the final sweater. Okay, so I'm going around the edge. I'm almost done, but I wanted to like show you. I'm going, this is the chain, right? Right here, this is the chain. So what I'm doing is I'm going directly underneath both of the chains. I don't know if you could see, but like that's the chain, and I'm going right into it. Both loops. And I noticed that when I do that, it's not tight like the way I've had it before, where it feels like there's a tight seam. It's very loose and it's all the way around. And right now I'm going to finish that up. I just have a few more stitches and then I'll show you what I mean. I have 144 stitches. So I went around each and every one of them because it is 72 stitches on each panel. I just made sure that I went into the stitch, like the where it's joined, the seam, that's the word. I went into the seam. So when I started, I tied it on to the original chain right before the seam. And then I went into the seam and went all the way around, and that gave me 144 stitches, which, like I said, is if you add 72 and 72, it's 144. So now all I'm going to do is go around just one time with a single crochet into that half double crochet to give it the same look as the neckline. And then once I'm done with that, I'm going to go straight into the sleeve. And I'll show you how much yarn I have left. Before I go into the sleeve. Now, I did bring in another skein of this pink. This is all I have left. I did bring in another skein of this pink because I know that it's not going to be enough. And I weighed this, and it weighs, I think, before I put this on, after the sleeve was done, it weighed, I think, 14.5 ounces. Which is, well, two skeins are, a skein is 6 ounces, so two skeins would be 16, two skeins would be 12 ounces. So it's roughly about 3 skeins, but if, you know, you remember, I did not start off with a full skein. I made the sweater with the 2 partial skeins that I had. And they were under a full skein. So when I make my next one, I am going to use 3 full skeins and see what that takes if I need extra. But I'm also kind of like debating right now whether my next one should be a little bit smaller. Obviously we got the chain, we got all the rows and the sleeves. That would all be the same, right? Because we want more or less the same length. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure all of this out. And, you know, obviously this is not a tutorial in any way, shape, or form. I'm just showing you how I do things and how I figure them out in my, you know, crazy head. And also, dang it, give me just a second because I did not put my stitch marker. And, that's why I like to put my stitch marker, because the stitches do get tighter if there's nothing there. And then it's hard to see exactly where that first stitch would be, right? And I hate when that happens. There we go. Right there. All right. Because you want that little V. See, I don't know if you could see. But, you see, you want that V. And when you start, I've noticed that when you start, especially like something long like this, and see, it's still giving stretchy. It's not tight. Like I've made sweaters where you feel the line of the chain, because I would only do it in one loop and that line would still be there. But when I go in through both loops of that initial chain on the bottom, it does make it won't give it that tight feeling. So I'm just giving you little tips and tricks that I've learned. And, I still have to figure out like what goes into writing a pattern. That's why to start, what I might do is once I have the initial pattern down, like once I tweak this out, I will make finished objects, obviously, to make sure that all the measurements are correct and stuff, like all the numbers add up and everything like that. And I will be selling those. And as soon as I figure out how to do it properly, like I know there's a lot that goes into making patterns, like because you have to have it for sizes and stuff. Or I mean, I can do a general, I think, but and then do it like kind of like made to order, but I don't want to do that. I want to do things a little bit differently. So I want to figure out exactly what I would have to do in to have it as a working pattern for you guys in case you want to make the same sweater, And I'm going to figure all of that out this year, because I know like for bags and stuff, it's easy because, it's just that bag. But when it comes to clothing, I know it's a little more complicated because of the fact that like there are different sizes. So yeah, I can do a pattern just for this sweater in this size. And let's say it's an oversized sweater. Anyone from a small to let's say large can use this sweater, and you can do kind of like a one fits all kind of type of deal. I don't want to do that. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could, I just don't want to do that. I do want to give have a pattern for at least like a kind of like, and I think I could do that where it's like, extra small to small, like small to medium, medium to large, where they're not exact sizes, they're by measurements. But in order for me to do that, I would need to do one of each size. And that's going to take a little bit of time. Now, if anybody, if any of you know how to do patterns for clothing or wearables, I would love feedback or help trying to figure that out, because I would like to get my patterns out to whoever would probably want to make them, like all these beautiful things that I'm creating. Yes, they are initially for me, but I would love for you to be able to make your own. And, again, I'm not going to keep all of these sweaters, obviously, because I don't fit into a, small or a medium. or, like an extra small, small, or a medium, or small, medium, maybe a medium large, but like the smaller sizes, and I won't be able to fit into those. And, I do want to make at least, one or two medium to large, and I'm not going to keep both of them. So when it's finished objects like that, I will put them up on my website. But, I would like to have the pattern written in case, y'all want to make your own. And I really want to figure out how to do that. So if, anyone is watching that knows more about this than I do, which is probably a lot of you, I would love your input, your feedback, or anything, because I would really like to have these as actual working patterns that I can put out there for y'all to make. That is, I would really enjoy that. That's something that I really want to do this year. You're just going to have to bear with me until I figure out how to actually do that. But what I think I'm going to do with this next one, and I'm almost done, and then I'm going to show you what the bottom looks like. I think what I'm going to do with the next one, I'm going to make it just a little bit smaller. I am going to measure this out, though, before I, do any of that. Not right now. I don't know exactly when I'm going to do the next one. It'll probably be towards the end of this month. Definitely not this week, because I want to do the rest of this week. I want to make a bunch of Valentine's Day items, and I think I want to make another tote bag, but this time I'm going to make it in, what do you call that? Acrylic, because I want it to be my yarn bag. Now, I don't really never toss yarning needles in my bag. I always have a little pouch. This used to be my daughter's pencil pouch from when she was in school. And, I have a tendency of not throwing things out if they're not broken or, ripped or whatever. So I've kept this for many years, and I love it. And so I always put, regardless of, even if it's in bags like this one that's solid, because I have taken that one with me with yarn in it. But sometimes, you want something that is softer, or maybe something different, So I was thinking of making like a yarn bag, a project bag. And I have one in cotton. I do use this one. Sometimes I don't want to use purple. And I wanted to try a different style anyway. So I always put like my hook, my yarning needle, and my scissors and stitch markers in this little bag. This little bag always goes with me, regardless of what bag I take with yarn in it when I go somewhere. And so what I want to do is, what I'm doing is I want to make a tote bag out of acrylic yarn, which I've never done before. I always use cotton to make my bags. I've never tried making a bag with acrylic yarn. But that is what I want to do, and I started the base for it already, or tried to figure out the base of it last night. I might take it apart, though, because I want to make sure I get it all done right. And that's a project that I want to work on this week. Now, it is Wednesday, so as long as I get this done today, I might be able to start some things tomorrow. There's also a yarn that I took apart. It was a hat one of my first hats that I ever made, and it was like not, it was a panel. It didn't come out right. It was too small. It didn't stretch because I put a border around it, but I did it the wrong way. I was just learning. It was literally like, I think, one of the second things I ever made other than a dishcloth. So I took that yarn apart and I have the ball. I want to make one of my beanies with it. And it's pinks. Let me see if I can grab it for you. No, I'm not getting up right now. But the next time I come on, I will show you. But I do want to make a hat in that yarn, and that's another pink thing. So for the rest of this week, up until Friday, I want to do nothing but Valentine's Day things. And then the other sweater that I want to make in this is probably going to be in like a green. So maybe a sage green, or not sage, but like a light green, or maybe like I do have drab olive, which is really pretty. I might make it in that. So if I decide to use a green to make the sweater, I will do it for St. Patty's Day. You know, like that would be cool. That would look cute. And I can do the sweater. And I am going to make it a little bit smaller. So I have to do the math. And that's the thing. I want to get all that out of the way. And when I figure out the amount of stitches that I need to remove, which is probably going to be 10 stitches. See how it came out? Can you see that? And it's not tight. It's stretchy. And I like that. And it took me a minute to figure out how to do that, because I always hate that chain on the bottom because it makes everything so tight, and I'm not getting that from this. I'm not getting, I mean, there is a little tightness in it, but it's not to where, you know, it, I think, is going to cause any kind of problems. So I'm going to turn this over. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to cut off the yarn because I really do like the way that looks. So we're just going to cut it off, because when I started it, I did the chain, right? And I did a single crochet and then went into the double crochets. So on the top, that's how I finished it, you know, like the single crochets. I mean, the doubles. I did a half double, I think. I don't know. Anyway, right now I'm like a little confused. I have to, like, I'm not thinking straight. I'm tired. I do have a bit of a headache, and I just really want to get this sweater finished. But I like the way it's looking, and I think that that actually looks really, really nice. And it has like that single crochet, half double, single. And I think it just looks very pretty. So I'm going to work on the other sleeve and get that finished. And then I'll come back and show you the actual sweater when it's finished. This, I have no idea how long this video is, because normally when I filmed, I used to film, and I still do sometimes, all the way through, right? Especially when it's a small project. But with these bigger projects, it's like I film in clips, and then, you know, I have 6 or 7 clips, and they're all different lengths, and I have no idea how long the video is going to be. And I really don't want to make this have so many parts. I want this to be the last one. So we are going to finish this. Maybe the video might be a little bit longer. Maybe I might take out, you know, some clips of me crocheting, because there are some clips where, like, for a few minutes, all you see is me crocheting. I might take those out if I need to, or, you know, it all depends on how long the video is. But let me go work on the last sleeve, and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. See you in a minute, or technically like just a few seconds. All right, so here is where I am. I want to show you because I want to show you. This is where I am on the last sleeve, right? And I just did my increase, and now I'm doing my last regular round of half double crochet before, half double crochet before I go into my next group of double crochets. And I'm want to show you how much yarn I have left. That's it. That is not going to make it for another 19 rows. That's not happening. So I do have another brand new skein. I have another brand new skein, and hopefully I won't need much of this because this is my last skein of this pink. And I kind of didn't want to use it all, but it is what it is. So hopefully I won't use all of this because I wanted to use this for something else. And I don't know if I'm going to have enough. Because I did kind of want to make the scarf, but I might have to use a different color pink. Just to have this in case I need it for something else. Because I kind of really... I don't know when I'll be able to get more yarn. So, you know, I didn't want to use up the last skein of pink. I'm pretty sure it's my last skein of pink. Of medium pink. Or medium rose. Or what is this? Yeah, medium rose. But I want to finish this sweater. Now, another thing I was thinking was that there is another color that I wanted to make in this style that I have. And I don't know if I don't think I'll have enough of that color to do a whole sweater. So I was thinking, like, I can always, you know how, like, there's those shirts where the sleeves, the shirt is one color and the sleeves are another, like a lighter shade or a different color altogether. And I was thinking I kind of want to maybe do that, like do it where the body of the sweater is, let's say, like a dark blue, and then the sleeves are light blue, or even the other way around, like a light blue body and dark sleeves. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that that would look okay? Like, I don't know. I might just do it just to see. You know me. I do things just to see if how they look like. And, you know, if I don't like it and I have to take the yarn apart to reuse it, I'll do that. I don't find that like a waste of time. I take it as a learning experience, but I kind of really want to do that. Like where I make the panels one color, and then after I sew them together, make the sleeves a totally different color. Let me know if you would like to see me do that, because that might be an option for one of the sizes that I might have to make. So, like, I told you I want to make different sizes of this sweater. And I think my next one, which will probably get started sometime next week, will be in, like, a green or a brown. It depends on my mood. Now, I was thinking of green because of St. Patty's Day, right? And then that's when I thought of, because there is a brown that I have, and I don't have a lot of it. And I want to use it for other things. So I was thinking that, like, I could make, I do have a darker, I think it's the darker brown. And the lighter brown is what I don't have enough of. I can't remember. But anyway, I was thinking that I could do the body in, you know, one color, and then let's say the darker brown. I can't remember, so I'm just going to say, let's say I have more of the dark brown, which I think is correct, but I'm not sure. So I can do the body in the dark brown, And I think that one full skein will give for both sleeves. I didn't start with a full skein for the sleeves. I think I had already used it for the body, and I did do some trim on it. I did the bottom and I did the top, I think, and I don't think it was a full skein to begin with when I started the sleeves. I can't remember right now. Yeah, because I can't remember, honestly. That's why I said earlier that the next sweater that I make, I'm going to do it with I'm going to start it with actual full skeins. So I can see how many actual skeins I would need for the sweater. Now, if I do it a different size, then it's going to vary a little bit, right? But it'll still give me a better understanding of how much yarn I will need for the sweaters. So I think that the next one I'm going to do is going to be slightly smaller. Not too much, but it'll be small enough where it'll fit a large comfortably, but fitted, or, you know, at least more to size. Not tight, but where it's more appropriate, and it'll be like an oversized medium. Because this one, I believe, is like... I don't know. I have to measure it once it's completely done to see what the measurements say. But this feels like more like an extra large. But who knows? I might be wrong. I might be crazy. Round of double crochets. All right. And I'm almost done with the sleeve, so I'm going to go finish the sleeve off. This is all I have left of this yarn, because that's the reason why I came on here, right? To show you. So I have this much of this yarn left, and I have this much of the sleeve done. And just so you can see, I'll show you. And that's how much of the sleeve I have left. So I'm going to go tie on this skein to this sleeve. And as soon as we're done with this sleeve, it's finished. I just have to weave in the ends for, you know, the two sleeves, the top and the bottom. All the trim, the sleeves and the trim, that's it. So it is right now. I do have a slight bit of a headache, but I haven't been working as much as I wanted to on this because, again, I've been having a headache since yesterday, so I'm trying to do the best that I can. But as soon as it's done, I'll be back. Hey, everybody. All right, now, it's actually the next morning. My headache was really bad last night, and I ended up not being able to finish it. I did get almost all of it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm on the very last decrease row. And then once I finish this row, I will do the one round of single crochet and the sweater will be done. And then I'm going to, I'll try it on for you so you could see how it looks before I spray it down and let it dry, which it shouldn't take that long because I actually don't let it, I don't like drench it. so hopefully it won't take too long to dry. But I just finished the sleeve. Yay! All right. Do believe that I had 4 things for Valentine's Day there on the Pico card. I wanted to have 4 Valentine's Day themed items completed before Valentine's Day. And we have reached that. Now, the reason why I only put 4 is because a lot of the things I had in mind were big, right? It was the cardigan, which took me a while, and this sweater, which took me a little bit longer than I had anticipated. But again, it is like the first time I made it, so at least the pattern is written, and that's what really matters to me. I would like to make a few more things. My last end, y'all, my last end. Yep, my last end. And then I can try it on. Okay, so I do have my sweatpants on. I mean, they're plain black pants. You can't really tell, but this is what it looks like. All finished. Do you think it looks pretty? I really like it. Again, I think that, like, for my personal taste, although this is great, for something a little bit higher, I like it. But I do want to make one that's a little bit more open. Just because, like, this is already cutting it a little bit too close for my neck. And that's one of the reasons I make a lot of jewelry, but I really don't wear it all the time anymore because I feel like I'm being choked. I don't know what it is. It's gotten worse as I've gotten older. But anyway, here we go. This is what it looks like. And I know it's simple, but let me know what you think. I love it. I think the neckline came out so pretty, and I can't wait to make the next one and see how that one comes out, because I am going to make a few changes in the next one. It's going to be a little bit more fitted than this one. Most likely, I'm going to remove like 10 stitches. So it would be 5 on each side, right? Which might be great. And I'm also going to make it a little bit more, not so high, because I want to put like a little bit of a thicker board on it. But look at the sleeves. They're nice and simple, and they're long the way I like them, but they also, like, they're right at the cuff, and I think it looks great. Let me know what you think, and if you like it. And if you want to see me make the next one and how that one's going to come out. But this is going to be it for this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I know it went a little bit long. And again, I'm trying to find my footing. So let me put you down here so I can talk to you for just a second, because I can't stand. Thank y'all so much for watching. I am so glad that y'all are here. I have a few subscribers. I know I don't have that many just yet, but I'm hoping that it'll grow. And I just appreciate every single one of you who do watch and those who comment. And again, I'm trying to get a handle on this whole thing. Hopefully the month of March will be a lot more calmer, and I won't be, have as many flare-ups. I just want one good month to be able to get everything done that I need to do and figure everything out the right way, and then be able to be a little bit better with the videos. But thank y'all so much for watching, and again, I hope you like the sweater. And Saturday, on Valentine's Day, I will be putting out a video showing you all the stuff that I made for Valentine's Day. And then next week we get to start on stuff for St. Patty's Day. And I'll discuss all that with you next time. But thank y'all so much for watching. If you really like this video, please hit the like button. It helps me out a lot with the algorithm. I'm sorry. And also hit that subscribe button if you like being here. You can hit that little notification bell and it'll let you know when I'm on. And thank you everybody for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later. Bye guys.